Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you guys can tell, my face is already done, so we're just going to jump right into things using Juvia's Place Nubian 2 palette. So the first color we're going to use is called Madagascar. It's this soft taupey kind of brown color, kind of a cool tone color. We're going to dust this back and forth into our crease using windshield wiper motions, just slowly building up the intensity of this color. I'm so excited for this eye look today. I sat down the day before this video and just sat there and really just wanted to play around with some colors, and I came up with this eye look, and I just am so obsessed with how it turned out. A very sunset, fiery, kind of festival kind of look. I'm so obsessed with it. So I hope you guys will love it too. So once we are done building up this color and just really smoking everything out with this first transition color, I'm going to jump into Morocco, which is this bright orange kind of fiery color. And we're going to do the exact same thing that we were just doing with that other color, with this same color, just dusting it back and forth into the crease, just adding some warmth into this look. This color right here really makes the entire look really sunsetty. I don't know if that is even a word, but you're just going to build up the intensity of this color. I know I'm like a broken record, just going back and forth in windshield wiper motions, just blending everything out so you don't have any harsh lines and everything seems very seamless. Once we have really blended everything out, I'm going to jump back into the palette and go into this deep plum purple shade called Jezebel, I think is how you pronounce it. And I'm going to use a Sigma E25, which is a really small tapered blending brush. And I'm going to begin to pack this onto our outer lid and keeping it there. And then I'm going to switch brushes to, I believe it's a Morphe M441. Once I've packed on a majority of that product with the E25, I'm going to go in with the Morphe M441 and just really begin to buff everything out and blend it out. But before we do that, since this is a dark color and my face is already done, I'm going to take some of this Airspun translucent powder and just go ahead and place that underneath my eyes so that if I do have any fallout, we can just dust that away later. So then once I have packed everything on, I'm going to go in with that Morphe M441 and just really begin to blend everything out with circular motions and then dragging it all the way into my inner corner. As you can see, the color will kind of fade away and go away, but that's okay. Once we're done blending that out, we're going to go back in again and repack it on and reblend it out and then pack it on again. I know it seems kind of tedious, but I really like to work slowly and use these kind of techniques because it really gives you that really smoked out, blended out kind of effect without it looking patchy or anything like that. Everything seems very seamless by doing this technique. This is also a good technique for the girls that are scared to go into their crease with a really dark color. This way it ensures that you can get that color into the crease without going a little bit too far up where things can get a little bit messy. This allows you to keep that color a little bit lower in your crease. So once we are done really blending everything out, I'm going to go back in with that first brush with no additional product on it and just go back in and buff everything out so we make sure that we don't have any harsh lines. I'm like the queen of blending. It's not even funny. So once we're done with that, we're going to go in with Kenya. This is a deep chocolatey brown, and I'm going to use a pencil brush from the Rose Gold collection and just pack this onto our outer V really heavily, and then we're going to go back in with that Sigma E25 and we're just going to buff it out with no additional product on it. We're just going to use that brush because it already has that plum on it. It's going to allow you to really buff everything out and blend the colors together really well. As you can see, I didn't put a lot of that dark chocolate on. I just put a little bit, and you can already tell that there's a lot of dimension and a lot of depth to this eye. So once we have really blended that out as much as we can, I'm going to switch brushes back to that Morphe M441 and just buff everything out together again. I just feel like this just ensures that you're going to have that really blended out look. So once we have really buffed it out, I'm going to switch brushes to another Rose Gold collection from Morphe brush. It's basically the same shape as this Morphe M441, but the difference is that it's a clean blending brush. So what you want to do with clean blending brushes is that you act as if it's an eraser kind of thing. So since you have no product on it, you can really get in there and buff those edges out and make sure that everything's really seamless and blended out. And it also acts as an eraser. So if you mess up, just go in with a clean blending brush and it'll clean it away. So now going in with concealer, I'm going in with Maybelline's Master Conceal on this flat concealer brush. You're going to want to work slowly with this as you're going to make a half cut crease. Wow, what a tongue twister. So you want to go ahead and just slowly begin to carve out that cut crease. We're not going to cut the crease completely all the way out to the end of the eye. You're only going to go about a little bit past halfway. This gives you that really pretty half cut crease kind of look. Once we are done really cutting that, I'm going to go in with this first yellow color right here. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like a deep like yellowy gold, like a true yellow gold. So you're only going to place this about a quarter of the way in, then going in with this orangey yellow gold. This is going to go in the center of the eye because this is going to be an ombre sunset kind of eye. Once you have placed that in the center of the eye, we're going to go into this other cranberry kind of color. It's what is it called? It's called Ya. And you're going to take this color right here and place that on the end of the eye. As you can already tell, the colors are kind of blending in together into this ombre eye. You're going to want to make sure that you drag those colors over each other so you get that true ombre kind of look, not such a stark line in between each color, which is why I'm going back into each one of those colors and just really blending them in together. Then going back into that dark plummy color called Jezebel, we're going to go back in and buff those edges out, taking this clean small shader brush, going in and really buffing it out and dragging it all the way inwards, which is going to take that Jezebel all the way into the inner corner, allowing it to really look like an intense cut crease. Then once we are done with that, just buff away all that translucent powder, so if you have any fallout, it didn't mess up the rest of the look. Now moving on to the other eye, we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did. We're going to go ahead and cut that crease, carve it out. This is like such a bulletproof kind of method. Go in with the yellow, the orange, and then the cranberry. Then go ahead and pack on Jezebel in the outer corner and blend it in, and there you go for the eye. Then after we are done with that and dusting away all the translucent powder, we're going to move on to the under eye. But before the under eye, we're going to go into the color Zuri, which is a really white champagne-y kind of color, and we're going to place this into our inner corner and dragging it upwards a little bit onto that yellow gold. This right here is really going to set the sunset kind of ombre eye. It's really going to fade into that yellow, kind of creating a different yellow on the lid, but then keeping the champagne in the inner corner. I don't know if you guys caught on to what I just said. That was really confusing. But onto the under eye, we're going to go ahead and go in with everything that we used on top of our eye underneath our eye. So I'm going to go in with that Madagascar mixed with that Morocco and go ahead and buff that underneath our eyes, dragging it all the way in. As you can see, those two colors mixed together give you such a pretty ombre kind of orange kind of look underneath. Then I'm taking a flat definer brush and I'm dragging Jezebel and Kenya all across my whole entire lower lash line. Then I'm going to go in with Maybelline's gel liner, give myself a wing liner because this is an intense eye look. That wing is really going to bring it all together. Then I went in with Lashes in a Box number 13 lashes, and then now going on to set my face, I am taking this Milani Make It Last setting spray and pretty much drenching myself in it. And now for lips, I am going to go in with two colors, starting off first with Kylie Jenner's Pumpkin, which is like a terracotta-y orange kind of look. It goes so good with this look. But I didn't want just this lip itself. I wanted it to be toned down a little bit more. So once I am done going in with this lip right here, I'm going to take another Kylie Jenner liquid lipstick in Brown Sugar and go ahead and top it off on this lip. The one thing that I didn't like was mixing these two colors together and topping it off with her formula. It kind of began to crumble later on, so I should have just mixed it together on my hand and then applied it to my lip, but I learned my lesson. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I hope I inspired you in some kind of way for either the spring or for a festival look. I think this look came out awesome and it's so cool, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that little button down below before you go, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.